Hi everyone, I'm Holly and I'm having an essential oil soap making day. I'm going to make anise soap right now, and anise smells a lot like black licorice, so it's one of those things where you kind of love it or you hate it, but I have a lot of customers that love it and buy a lot of it, so I'm making a really big batch today. The first thing I'm going to do is add in the coconut milk. Now I'm only using this as a percentage of my water / liquid portion, the part that mixes with the lye solution. So if you want to add in milk just a little bit, you can pull down the water that you mix with your sodium hydroxide and then just add it in as the milk. And I like to go ahead and just get it in and get it all blended in nicely. I don't have any scorching or adverse effects doing it this way. And the main reason for that is just it's a small amount. So I'm going to tap out the air bubbles out of the stick blender shaft, and then I will get this blended up. Okay, great. I do need to pull this out because unfortunately it tips over and then too much soap gets in the connections up here. This one other day it completely fell out in my batch of soap. I had to go digging for it and clean it up and everything. Oh, it was a pain. So now I'm putting in the lye solution. So this one, the water portion is reduced to accommodate the coconut milk and some sodium hydroxide.
Warning.
The spatula is a little small for this batch. Kind of just helps to keep this batter moving around. The stick blender is not really as powerful as it should be for this batch. All right, I'm gonna try, I'm gonna try that and then we'll go from there. I'm not a left-handed person. That's not working very well. Whew. All right, it's time to bring in the big one. Give this just a nice stir up. The plastic is a little bit nicer on the metal. If I was just doing this by myself, I would use my stick blender a little bit more, running it on the bottom, but I know that a lot of people struggle with the metal on metal sound, so I'm trying to spare you that. So we'll do this. Now, the interesting thing about making anise soap is that it has, I almost need like a clip or something that I could attach my doodad there. Anyway, the interesting part is the usage rate of anise. It's very, very low. This is a very small container. My next batch I'm going to be making has a regular amount, and I'll show you the difference. So this is for my citrus batch, and it's quite a large bottle full of essential oil, and so it's quite a bit of a difference there, but it's important to pay attention to the IFRA standards, and we follow the IFRA standards. It's the International Fragrance Association, and they tell us what we can use, and so for the anise it is a very, very low usage rate. It is also one of those that you don't need that much either. You would think, oh my goodness, this is going to be just a very lightly scented batch. Nope. It works out. It smells so good. I love black licorice. My whole family does. We're just all black licorice people. This is so good. Oh my goodness. This is also one that gets stronger as time goes by. There have been many times I was like, oh gosh, that's going to be a lightly scented batch. And again, nope. So for this batch, I do a charcoal swirl. So I'm going to pour some out and we're going to see if I can hit the target. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. And pour. It does not take very much of the black to make a nice swirl. So that's one thing I've learned is hold back. It may even still be too much. So I have some activated charcoal here. I'm just gonna get poured right in, and I have this fantastic mini spatula to scrape out this little cup. So cute. I love it. This will stir up before I stick blend it. I just want it to be a little bit, I just want to make sure that it's well blended. Let's just leave that there. Doesn't need much. Sometimes I feel you gotta be ambidextrous for some of these things, and I am not ambidextrous at all. Alright, well this is looking good. It's quite thin still. This is also really thin, so I'm just gonna pause. If you do an in the pot swirl too early, it can be just real muddy, and I want the colors to be a little bit more separated. Alright, so it's looking good. It's quite a bit thicker in both containers, so I'm going to go ahead and pour for the in the pot swirl. I'm gonna go low and then high and low again. I do want a little bit for the top, but for the most part, I'm just going to use what's in the pitcher. So I am going to give it a quick move around. And now I am going to start pouring. Let's see how I want to do this. I'll probably just pour in the middle and let it just move around. It's kind of heavy to do a slow pour. I think I will turn it around. Isn't that cool? Looks great. I have quite a bit more of the natural color there, so I thought maybe I would just kind of pour through here for a moment. Someday I'll make a batch big enough where I don't have to scrape the inside, and then we can just have that be the top. I think that would be really cool. So I almost could just leave it like this if I didn't scrape out that black there. Normally I do just a swirly design on the top, but kind of digging this, you know? I'm really liking how that looks. So I might leave it. I'll have to think for just a moment. I've decided I'm gonna leave it for this time. I've always wanted to have a top that looks like this, so I might as well just take advantage of it this time. It's pretty loose still, so if I move it, it's gonna slosh around. So I'm just probably gonna leave it here for a good 10 to 15 minutes until I can move it over to another table and work on another soap today. So thank you for watching the making part, and I will be back just like that for the cut. I'm working on getting the Annis soap cut up. It turned out so cool. I always love cutting this soap. Isn't that neat? That's so neat. Okay. So I have, let's see, 2.5 loaves cut already. Ooh, I just noticed this. I always love those ovals when it makes those. Okay, so let's slide that one clear over there. Oh, that's neat. Love it. This section is a little bit wider. Some of the other bars tend to be more gray, where it's swirled more. That's a neat one. I think that might have been mostly on the first loaf that I cut. If I don't come across any others, I might have to go grab one of those. Oh my goodness, look at that. Isn't that neat? One of my favorite looks ever. I like the top, how it turned out. Let's do this time. Oh, that's neat. It has like a diagonal look going on that one. Oh yeah, these are neat. Very marbled looking. This is one of my favorite designs. So it ended up a little bit extra swirled there on the top in some of these places, but most of the tops are just super pretty. My last loaf over here just has an amazing top on it. That's so cool. That's so cool. I get this one, the rest of it cut. I push it clear over. Does kind of jostle a little bit. So this is kind of cutting through that swirly side. Isn't that cool? Cutting soap is so fun. Making soap is so fun. Cutting soap is so fun. I just love the whole thing. This is a neat one. All right, so let's do the last loaf here, and I will show you this top because it is just so pretty. Isn't that nice? So good. I've been noticing the style in like bathrooms right now is to have a lot of marble looking the counters and the shower and everything. This would look so good in one of those type of bathrooms. Look good in any bathroom, of course, but I think it would just look super neat, super high end. And a soap like this is so easy to make. You saw that design was just super simple to do. I just love this top like that. That's pretty. So I'm just kind of stacking everything over here. I probably don't have to line it up quite as nicely as I am because I'm just gonna move it all over again. That's just the way I am. I guess you can't hardly see. I have most of it clear over here. That which is bigger, but you couldn't actually see it. Oh goodness. Oh, you are stuck. Come back. I love these ones that have a lot of white in them too. This makes me super happy. So I'll probably go get one of those mostly like black gray ones. Look at that top. So nice. So this is the tray I've been working on, and I took some pictures. So here's one that has a lot of gray in it from all the swirl. This looks so good. Okay, so I am just gonna get all these soaps stacked up on the tray so they can go to the curing rack. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.